how do you, if you're dating 6 women,
I was dating like 50. I was dating 50 at
okay,
the time.
one
50,
alone
100.
drives me fucking nuts, Lauren. I love you, but I mean, how do you deal with all
I'm
of these?
curious about that too. That's
and
a
like
lot of energy.
all of these mixing personalities and people vying for your attention.
So
it's gotta be stressful.
It's actually harder when it's less. So when I was dating 50 or 100 girls, it was actually less headache than when I was dating like 5. Because when I was dating less, they expected more. And it was a different standard. When I was dating all these girls, they were just like happy to get time. When it was less, when it was like 4 girls or whatever, then now they're competing to be like the main girl. And so now there's like cattiness, there's this, there's that. You know, if I fuck like one girl more than the other girls, they get mad. Like, it's like 50 or 100, none of it matters. Like, it's just like they get the time when they get the time. They're happy to be there. Like, everything, nobody bitches about anything. There's no jealousy. It's just like...
Am I right that you have...
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and highest honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Archakadash. Double honors to the elders and pastors of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. This is Brother Araki with a new lesson. You saw in the beginning to do that bilzerian. I remember he was on Instagram years ago, pretty much 10 years ago, something like that. 2016, 2017. Maybe even earlier, but I remember somewhere along those lines. And, you know, it was always mad bitches, man. And now what he was saying is interesting, man. When he was with 50 to 100 women, they was just happy to be there. They were just happy to get time. But then when there was, you know, 4, 5, 6, then it was more stressful because they was competing for time and attention. But beginning from Jacob's trouble, going into the kingdom, these women, they ain't gonna be tripping. They're gonna be multiple for one man, and they are not gonna be tripping. They're not gonna be, you know, having that rebellious attitude where they wanna, you know, put up fights and shit. So let's go. Yeah, the point is Isaiah 4:1. Let me go to the point. So this is talking about the Hebrew Israelite woman, but it's also applying to, there's points, for example, verse 25 on down, it applies to women of the other nations as well. Isaiah 3:24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of a well-set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty, which that is directed at the nigger woman, okay, the so-called black woman, because instead of well-set hair, baldness. No, it's crazy. They cannot grow their hair long. It's crazy. That's that curse, man. But the men of our nation, they can grow their hair out. Other women, they can grow their hair out. Even the Latin tribe women, they can grow their hair out. It's just the so-called American black ninja woman and West Central African woman, they cannot grow their hair out. It's just not happening, man. So they have to cope, they have to, you know, get these systems, man, these random mass extensions, you know, wigs, weaves, some weird ass braids of dead people hair, you know, some fucked up systems, man, hanging from their head. You know? Yeah, and you know, this going on more so to that point, Isaiah 3:16, moreover the Lord Yahweh said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord Yahweh will discover their secret parts. Okay? Which that hair curse is going into the so-called black woman. Okay, and I hear the Edomite, Amalekite, so-called the small hatter people, they're women shaving their head bald, then wearing a wig. No, what the fuck you doing? You synthetically trying to fit into the curses when you do not fit into the curses because you are pretenders, you are not the people. Okay, Isaiah 3:25. The men shall fall by the sword, and the mighty into war. Well, that's the time we headed to, you see? This is gonna be Jacob's trouble, men gonna be falling. Also, now you have these wars going on, they're gonna be sent. Even before the World War III kicks in, fully with the nuclear weapon style, it's gonna have these Jacob's trouble purge type scenario going on, man. In which there's gonna be a lot of dead bodies, man. A lot of men gonna pass away. So then the woman gonna be on panic mode. I always remember in that movie, The Road, 2006. Man, that woman, I believe her name is Charlize Theron, Charlie, whatever the fuck. Let me go look it up, man. The Road, 2006. Was it 2009? Yeah, definitely wasn't this one. Let me see if it's 2009. Yeah, this one. I always think it's 2006, but yeah, it's 2009. You see, Charlize Theron. Okay. South African. Okay, I didn't know that. So anyway, she was on that film, and she bugged the fuck out, man. She bugged the fuck out, my nigga. Let me see if I can. Okay, let me read something of the plot. Hey, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert. A man and his young son struggle to survive after an unspecified catastrophe results in an extinction event which causes the death of all plant life and virtually all animal life. The man and boy travel on a road to the coast in hope that they can find safe haven, scavenging for supplies in their journey and avoiding roaming cannibalistic gangs armed with guns. Years earlier, the man's wife gives birth to their son shortly after the catastrophe, and she gradually loses hope. When the man shoots an intruder using one of 3 bullets they have saved for the family as a last resort, she accuses him of wasting the bullet deliberately to prevent her suicide. And so she was already bugging the fuck out, removing her coat and hat in the freezing cold. She walks into the woods, never to be seen again. You see? So she bugged the fuck out. Even though you still had the man alive, you had their son alive, but he still just fucking logged out, man. She said, nah, nigga, I'm out. And she just walked into the fucking forest, bro, to freeze to death. So, there you go. And imagine when their men die, they're just gonna be in despair. Verse 25, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. You see, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So she gonna be in a desperate situation. Isaiah 4:1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So beginning in the time of Jacob's trouble, you gotta have these women that are not gonna be giving a fuck whether you have 5 or 50 other women. They're just gonna be happy to be there in part of the pack, okay, to be with a man of the Lord that knows what the fuck going on, man. Okay? Okay? And it's gonna continue in the kingdom, but with a different twist that in the kingdom it's not gonna be a troublesome situation. Now we're gonna be in our glory, and we're gonna have wives, handmaids. Okay? That's when really be fruitful and multiply is fully coming into fruition in a whole nother way, man. It's written that one man shall become 1,000, and a strong nation. Let's get that 1,000 strong nation. Okay, Isaiah 60:22. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord Yahweh, will hasten it in this time. And this chapter is going into the kingdom. Let me start from verse 21. Thy people all shall be all righteous. This is why in Romans is written, so all Israel shall be saved. I believe Romans 11:26, all Israel shall be saved. That's in the kingdom. They shall inherit the land forever. Okay? The Middle East, Israel, the headquarters, is from the Nile River of the land of Ham until the river Euphrates. So it's that whole Middle East. That people all shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. So you see, in the kingdom, we're gonna be good, man. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord Yahweh, will hasten it in this time. Hasten it in his time. So, how is one man going to become, okay, or from a boy, let's say, how is an Israelite one, how is he gonna have 1,000 offspring? Well, it's not gonna happen by having one wife, man. It's gonna happen by you having, hundreds, even thousands of wives. And they're just gonna be happy to be there. They're just gonna be happy to have the time. It's not gonna be no damn friction. Okay. But next we're gonna have next up we're gonna have time of Jacob's trouble. Okay. So this is what we should be preparing for. Let me leave you with a scripture in the Apocrypha, 2 Ezra 14:14. Let go from the immortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. I love this scripture, man. It puts you in the right mindset, man. Prepare for the time of Jacob's trouble, which is most importantly, what that means is you get close to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? God. Prioritize this truth. I know it's not easy, you know, a whole lot of fucking distractions, but prioritize this truth. Okay, and the Lord shall fight for thee, okay? I have to end with that. That's also in the Apocrypha. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall fight for thee. Sirach 4:28. This is what we should be about in these times, man. Yahweh Tazatis will say the 5 on to the next one, Shalom.